We've seen how hand, arm, and racket rotation is critical in previous articles on the serve and also on the forehand in my new teaching method series. This rotation is driven by the movement of the upper arm in the shoulder joint. The technical biomechanical term is internal shoulder rotation. Research shows that this rotation is a major contributor to racket speed. But I think a better way to understand it is as the unitary rotation of the entire arm, hand, and racket together. The same unitary rotation of the hand, arm, and racket is also critical on the one-handed backhand. Although it is less extreme and harder to observe, especially with the naked eye, it's an inherent component in pro backhands and in good one-handers at any level. Even in high-speed video, hand, arm, and racket rotation isn't easy to see on the one-hander. On the serve and on the forehand, this rotation can be up to 180 degrees or even more. On the one-hander, it's typically closer to 90 degrees. This happens in only fractions of a second in real time. You can see it, though, by watching the rotation of the elbow joint in super slow motion. Over the course of the forward swing, it goes from pointing basically at the side fence to pointing basically down at the court. This is what makes the vertical racket face at the extension of the swing so important. It ensures that the player is getting a minimum of 90 degrees of hand, arm, and racket rotation. 90 degrees of hand, arm, and racket rotation is a core minimum in the one-handed backhand. In a minimalist swing pattern like that of Tim Henman, this can mean the racket face is vertical at the start and at the extension of the forward swing. But like all the strokes in high-level tennis, there are variations in the one-hander, which most top players use at various times. In the backswing, players can rotate the arm backward or counterclockwise, opening the racket face until, in the extreme, it's close to parallel with the court. From this position, there is a significant increase in the amount of rotation coming forward into the ball. Or, players can increase the hand, arm, and racket rotation in the forward swing itself. Now, instead of the racket finishing on edge, the face turns over until it is partially facing the opponent. This more extreme rotation is the one-handed backhand equivalent of the windshield wiper. Gaston Gaudio, who had one of the great one-handers of all time and reached the top 5, used this wiper finish on virtually every backhand. Both of these variations in the amount of rotation lead potentially to higher velocity and/or spin values. So that's it for the little understood role of arm rotation in the one-hander. I will have more to say on how to incorporate this into your backhand, or not, in a future article. But first, stay tuned for the equally misunderstood role of one-hand backhand stances.